happy to be on your screen this morning, and I'm very happy to have you all on this call. Thank you so much for coming on time, being early on the call. I love you all. And today promises to be one day you will remember for a long time because we've handed this program over to God. Me and the resource person yesterday, we were on the call as at 10 thereabouts praying that the event will be a success. And we believe we believe that you all will leave better than how you have joined the call this morning. Time is not on our side, so let's get right into the business of the day. So I'll be reading the profile of our resource person, Mrs. Adigbimpe Mohammed. She's the founder of B&M Brand House, a seasoned strategist, brand developer, and founder of B&M Brand House, a leading branding agency based in West Africa that has empowered over 500 companies, startups, and individuals with transformative brand strategies. With more than a decade of hands-on experience in the creative industry, Adebimpe has helped countless businesses find clarity, define their voice, and stand out in saturated markets. Our gifts lies in translating ideas into authentic, results-driven brands that resonate and endure. Beyond our agency work, Adebimpe serves on the board of several organizations, offering her expertise as a trusted brand advisor. She's also deeply passionate about personal and professional growth, with a mission to nurture excellence and instill structured, value-driven thinking in people. Known for her strength in leadership, project management, entrepreneurship, and problem solving, Adebimpe holds a master's degree in business administration. Through her work and writing, she continues to inspire individuals and businesses to build with purpose, lead with clarity, and brand with authenticity. Without further ado, I would love us to please welcome our resource person, Mrs. Adebimpe Mohammed. Welcome, Mrs. Adebimpe Mohammed.
Good morning.
Almost. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
How's your morning so far?
It's been good so far. Thank you for asking.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining the call, and we're happy you're here. All right, ma'am. We've already spent 22 minutes over 10 call, but before we start, I don't know if you'd love to say or share anything with us before we go into questioning and answering.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm most honored and delighted to be talking to you at this moment, and I want to thank Favor for the invitation, and I really want to commend the work you're doing with the 5 Minutes with Abigail event. And
thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your commitment to seeing people grow, seeing people elevate their lives, and this is your way of giving back. And I look forward to the beautiful things that would happen with this community. And thank you for the warm welcome, everyone. I am most delighted to be here. So we dive right into the crux of today's event. Okay. But I want to share some expectations. It's going to, I plan for this to be an engaging session. That means I'm not going to be the only one talking. I'm expecting to hear from the people on this call. I can see Fumilayo Joy. I can see Chiamaka Editi, Bertha Daniel, Promise Uzo. All right, I can see Etoro Ekanem. So I hope you have questions for me today. Yeah. Yes, because one of the reasons that I would want to get your questions, branding is very vast, but in as much as I would share some tips with you, I want to be able to answer your peculiar questions and deal with your peculiar situations. So, yes. And I would also be asking questions if need be. I might just put you on the spot. So make sure to pay full attention while you are in this session. Just to confirm, is my audio good? Can you hear me
Yes,
clearly?
yes, we can.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you so much, ma'am. I know, just like she said, I believe before coming, you had your questions. There'll come a time when everyone you can share and share from your heart, from your experience. So please feel free. If you have questions, you can drop them on the chat box. As I ask her, I can also ask your questions as well. So just see this as a family meeting where everyone is interested in your growth. Yes, yes. So everyone, you're welcome again. So let's shoot with our questions. So, ma'am, the focus of this call will be looking at our brands as a person, our business brands, and our professional brands. Looking through the expectations of the registrants, we saw individuals, some wanted to build confidence, some had goals of improving their business, some were invincible and they want to become high in demand. They want to be of more value, they want to gain more visibility and the like. So the central area is to see how individuals improve their personal brands, their business brands, and their professional brands. But before we dig deep into these three areas, what is branding from an expert's view? What is branding? What is personal branding? What is business branding? And what is professional branding? How can we differentiate these three sets or types of brands?
okay. Branding essentially is a perception. So branding is the way you are perceived or you're talked about when you don't have the power to influence at the moment. So I would usually say branding is what people say about you, how they feel about you, how they experience you, even while you're not in the room. So there are different aspects of branding. One of the most popular parts of branding that you see business owners focus on is visual branding. So here they talk about their logos, their colors, especially for businesses. So that's what comes to their mind when they think branding. But branding, that is not even the genesis of branding. So branding is essentially how you are perceived. Value is perceived. If I showed you this pen and I say, how much is this pen? I'm sure different people would have different answers for this pen. Or let me put it to Promise Uzuwilu. No, Promise Uzowihe. Please forgive me. How much would you pay for this pen?
Maybe 100 naira.
100 naira. Interesting. Okay. Why would you pay 100 naira?
Because it's just a pen. I just need it to write basic things. And I think the value of a pen in the market should be 100 naira. The last time I checked.
For this pen, can you see it properly?
Yeah.
Or are you referring to, would you pay the same amount for these two pens?
Okay. To be honest, no, I wouldn't. I'm looking at the two pen. I can tell that this other one looks more expensive than this one. So I think the 100 naira one should be the yellow one. That's the
Okay, so
regular
now
pen.
that the yellow is in front of you, how much would you pay for this pen?
Maybe 500.
Interesting. Thank you. So promise, um, if you were to know that Let me call a good model. Do you know Otedola?
I'm not very good at it. All
You
of
don't
those
know
names.
who is someone you look up to that inspires you?
It depends on the field.
Business wise. Does anybody inspire you business wise?
Mm, business wise, yeah.
Who could that be?
I'm trying to recall the name. The owner of UBA.
Tony Elumelu.
Exactly, yeah, Tony Elumelu.
So if you knew this was Tony Elumelu's pen, would you still want to pay 500 naira for it?
Honestly, I will.
Okay, you will. Why?
Um, because it's still pen.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's
It,
just a pen. I
it's just
think paying more than 500 just because it's from Tony Elumelu doesn't really, it's not really wise because at the end of the day, it's still just pen.
beautiful. So now I'm going to take it a notch higher. So you know this grants thing that Tony Elumelu does, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Do you recall the name?
not right away.
Okay. So you can your first assignment will be to research that. So sometimes they give grants worth um millions. So if you were to know that this pen would qualify you to get a grant, right? And let's even say it's a grant of 50 million, and people are bidding for this pen, and you have this very solid business idea, right? And people are bidding for this pen, and let's say they even take the price to 100,000, and now the catch is 100 million. Would you still pay 500 for this pen?
I wouldn't. I would pay higher.
Which is how much? Would you pay 100? Would you, you know, find the 100,000 and pay for this pen if you know it's going to give you access to 100 million naira?
Of course, that's good business.
Okay, that's good business. But it's just the pen. What changed?
What changes what I got, what I'm going to get by investing that amount in ordinary pen. There's a higher stake. There's something at stake that I have to get that is worth more than just having a pen. So now the aim, or should I say, I'm not really getting it because I need a pen. I'm getting it
Mm,
because there's something else I'm going to get that has more value than what just a pen has to offer me.
okay. Now, does this now become just a pen to you when you look at this pen again?
No, now this pen is going to be an access to millions.
All right. You know what's just happened? Branding. This exercise we went through is essentially what branding is about. The pen didn't change. Just imagine with me marketing this pen to her, she moved from 100 naira to 500. And even when it felt like she was not going to transition from 500, I convinced her to buy this pen for 100,000 naira within very few minutes. So, branding, thank you so much for your participation. I know I put you on the spot, but it was a good one. So, branding is essentially how you are perceived. Either you're a person talking about your personal brand, what do people think about you when your thought comes up in their head, or when they see a picture of you, or when they see a post of you? What do they think about you? Do they think about you as a trustworthy person? Do they think about you as a truthful person? Do they think about you as a credible person? Do they think about you as a promise and fail? What do they think about you? That is your brand. your personal brand. Then we move to business brands. What do people think about when they see your business? We have Apple, and then we have the iOS gang, and then we have the Android gang. I hope there are no Android users in this meeting because the Android users they keep terrorizing the iOS users, even though we all know the truth. All right. Okay, so that aside, so when you think of, let's even dwell. Oh, I can see Uzoma. Uzoma says she's here. So let's stand on Android. You know, there are Android devices, and then there are Android devices. You have the likes of Techno, no shades, and then you have Samsung, right? You have okay, I can see some comments. Don't worry, I'll get back to you. So you have Techno, which is a good product, but then you have Samsung. And since all this banter started, I've not really seen anything from Techno, even though Techno is an Android device. It's only been Samsung. So what differentiates Samsung from Techno? It is the brand perception. It is how Samsung has positioned their brand to be a premium brand, even amidst the Android users. To be a premium brand, to be a technology pro brand. So when you think about Samsung, you think quality. So Samsung has successfully positioned themselves as the Android alternative to an Apple device. Yes. So if you want to talk on Apple level, you better use a Samsung device. How did they achieve this? Through their brand communication. As little as their adverts, very minimalistic, very sleek. Why do they choose this style of adverts? Why do they choose this style of branding? Because classy people, premium people are not usually cluttered, right? You don't see, they don't like things all around. So it's a psychology to use minimalistic designs to appeal to premium users. And then you look at the quality of their advertisement. You look at the intentionality they put into every product, advertising every product. And then you look at their conscious banter of an Apple device, right? An Apple device, because Apple has already positioned themselves as the authority in the mobile field. So if Samsung needs to take that crown or at least share in that glory, they're not going to be competing with the Techno. Why is Samsung not dealing with Techno or Infinix? They are consciously communicating to a higher competitor so that they can appeal to the audience and the class of these higher competitors. So it's all about controlling perceptions. So your business brand is essentially what people feel about your business. We have Coca-Cola, and then we have other drinks. We have American Cola, we have Pepsi, and some dark drinks. But why would Coca-Cola keep thriving? Because Coca-Cola do not just sell a drink. You might be selling wigs. You're not just selling a wig. You're selling more than a wig, right? And these are some things that I would want to touch on a little bit more today, if the time permits. So what does Coca-Cola, why do you buy Coca-Cola and you don't buy Pepsi? Because Coca-Cola shares nostalgia. And there is one powerful phrase, well, it's a tagline, it's called a tagline in business, that Coca-Cola literally used to get me. I don't know if they got every other person. So there was this time that I didn't take Coca-Cola for more than 3 years. I didn't even taste Coke. I didn't. So there was this day, this time I was still in Addis Ababa, and there was this gigantic billboard. I was just on my way to work that morning, and I saw a very big billboard. It was hot. It was a hot day, And there was this big bottle of Coke on that billboard. It was sweating cold. You know how you see all of those cold bubbles? And then there was a caption, meals taste better with Coke. This has been 9 years now. I still remember that thing. So when I saw that thing, the next time I was having my meal, I remembered that advert and I ordered for a Coke. And I ordered for a Coke because they sold the narrative that meals taste better with Coke. And you see it everywhere. So now they are not just selling a drink, they are selling an experience. They are selling nostalgia. So when people want to feel energized, they think Coke. When people want to have a meal, subconsciously, they are thinking that, I rather buy Coke because meals taste better with Coke. What a powerful tagline. When you think Nike, you don't think Nike. You don't even think about shoes. You see, this is something that could mean many things. But when I see this, I think Nike, except if I were to be in school, right? So if I would see this on the billboard, I think Nike. And I don't just think Nike, I think just do it. What does Nike sell? They don't just sell sneakers, they don't just sell athletic wears, they sell an experience, they sell motivation. And when you watch their adverts, the type of adverts they do is usually fast paced because they are selling a perception. They are telling you that they're involved in your health and fitness journey. They're telling you that they're there to motivate you through your journey. They're telling you that you can do this, you can do that. So they are positioning themselves beyond the product they sell. And what is the impact of this perception and this positioning? It helps them build trust in you, because when you start thinking of them beyond profits, yes, they're in the business for profit, but they are not putting it in your face every day. Come and buy this $99.99 discount, this one, that one. No, they are subtly pushing their value and relevance to you. They are telling you that we are here to motivate you. So when you think of a shoe that would help you in your gym journey, you're thinking, let me just get Nike. You don't even think it twice. Why? Because this thing has been ingrained in your mind through their conscious messaging, through their branding. So essentially, business branding is beyond your logo, is beyond your letterhead, it's beyond your website. Yes, those are all inclusive, but it's mostly about controlling the perception. How do people perceive you? If you have a sales problem for a multi-million dollar business industry, it's most likely not your village people. It's most likely not a problem with your product. Is most likely a branding problem. If people underpay you, it's because you've positioned yourself as somebody that should be underpaid. If people patronize other people instead of patronizing your business, is because your business has not yet been patronized, has not yet been packaged to suit the audience, the target market that your business should serve. And so when we talk about professional branding, what is professional branding? Professional branding is how you're positioned in your field of expertise. If you have a 9 to 5, how are you valued in your organization? In my book, Building Authentic Brands, there was a case study of a lady. Her name was Chidera in the book. So Chidera was a GSS2 teacher, and she was very hardworking, but there was no promotion, right? There was no promotion when people were considered for management positions and all of those fantastic opportunities. Chidera was not she was not considered, but she was good at what she did. So what did Chidera do? Chidera decided to rebrand herself. During the holidays, she worked on her personal brand. She became more conscious about how she appeared. She became more conscious about how she spoke. And then she also decided to start something. So on her social media handle, Chidera started posting tips about teaching. She started organizing classes for people that wanted to be teachers. She just started positioning and bringing out herself, projecting herself. That's the word. She started projecting herself, making people see her value beyond the classroom. What happened to Chidera after this rebranding exercise she went through? Your guess is most likely as good as mine. Chidera grew to become, in 6 months, the head of her department, and she was promoted. She became a major decision maker within the same organization. The boss did not change. Her students did not change. Her salary did not change immediately. But what changed? Chidera changed her brand perception. And to sum this all up, you don't have control over your brand. You see the way you're listening to me, I'm talking to you. I don't know what's going on in your head, right? You're just listening to me. But from the words that I'm saying, from the examples that I'm giving, you're forming a perception of me. That is what branding is. I don't have control over the perception that you have in your head right now. The same thing, you don't have control over how people receive your brand, what they think of you as a person, what they think of your business as a person, what they think of your business as an entity, rather, and what they think of you professionally. But guess what? Even though you don't have total control, you can influence the way they think. Because now I'm talking about branding. There's no way you're looking at me as a farmer, because I've not said anything that has to do with farming. There's no way you're looking at me as a secondary school teacher, because I've not mentioned that I'm a teacher. So through my communication, through the words that I'm saying to you, I'm controlling how you perceive me. So if we were to take a general census, you most likely perceive me as, oh, someone that is into branding, right? Someone that works with people that are involved in one business transitioning or the other, someone that works with people that are building their personal brand, right? So the same thing, even though you don't have total control over your brand, you, through your messaging, through your communication, through the things that you choose to post, and even the things you choose not to post, you can control people's perception of you, either as a person, as a business, or as a career person. Yes, so
wow, that's a whole lot of book. Like that's a book that can be sold. Wow, I took a lot from everything you said, and some key things I took out were branding is perceived value, what perception people have about you, and it can be influenced based on how you position yourself, based on what you choose to post and what you choose not to post. I also picked something when you were talking about the Android gang and the iOS gang. Just to chip in, we are many here for the Android gang. We are many. um, you said these brands like Coca-Cola, Nike, um, and it's like iOS, they sell an experience. So for anyone here who has a business, what do you think are the strategies or the steps we need to put in place to not just sell a product, but to sell an experience? Because from all you've said, what made this brand stand out is they moved past selling a drink, or they moved past selling a shoe, or past selling an electronic device. They decided to share an experience that met with their customers. So to someone here who has a cleaning business, to someone here who has a hair business, to someone here who has a POS business, how can we begin to not just sell a service, but also sell an experience?
Okay, that's a brilliant question. To answer this question, I would want you, wherever you are, to take out a pen or your gadget and write the Zoom framework. Zoom, ZOOM, Zoom framework. So, in effectively positioning your brand, first off, your brand has to be authentic to you. Your brand has to make sense to you. You need to know, in the grand scheme of things, what problem is your business solving? I want to believe that I'm talking to people that are not just in this class because they want to increase their income. That's a good reason, but I hope it goes beyond that. I hope I'm talking to a set of people who want to build legacies, who want to build businesses that would outlive them, businesses that would make global impact. If you're building a business or a brand that would outlive you, then you must start from a place of authenticity. There are certain questions you must ask yourself before you go into any business or service delivery. So we're going to use the Zoom framework as an approach, and this is going to open your eyes to see how to understand better what you do, to see the value of what you do, either as a person or as a business. So under the Zoom framework, we have 3 levels. So we have the Zoom out, we have the Zoom mid, and then we have the zooming. So the zoom out, this is the macro view, right? I want to explain this using a case study. Who wants me to use their business or their brand as a case study? Business could be probably a service that you run, or brand could be probably you're the face of your business. Who wants me to use, if you're that person that wants me to use their business or their brand, unmute and tell me what you do.
Hello. Okay, so mine is an NGO.
Okay.
I don't know if that falls into the category.
So what does your NGO do?
Basically we we run health interventions for women living with disability. Maybe provide them with skills, make teach them on skills on how to do some systematic reviews, to create policies, how to incorporate the government into policies that has to do with disability and inclusion, and maybe collaborate with others to give support like wheelchairs, crutches, and the likes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So we'll take that up as a case study, and we would develop a Zoom framework. So under the zoom out, we want to deal with the purpose. What's the name of your NGO, Promise?
Access and Inclusion for Women with Disabilities Initiative.
Access and Inclusion for Women with Disability Initiative. Okay, I want someone else to tell me about their business so that I can use the both as a reference. Anyone who wants us to talk about their business or their brand? You can just.
Can I?
Okay, yes, sure, of course.
Okay. Let's use 5 minutes with Abigail as a brand.
Okay.
Yes. So the purpose of 5 minutes with Abigail is to see women moving past just the roles of wife, mothers, and using their gifts, using their talents, their voices to do something great with their life and make impact. Although we are thinking of transition into helping women go into the tech world, um, those are some not long-term goals because we intend going deep into that next year, but majorly the 4 areas Fabulous Abigail is working to see is one, help women gain the confidence they need to rise up and know that they are more than just wives and mothers. Number two, take up spaces, majorly in the tech role. Number three, find their voices, find their missions on earth. And number four, be of impact in wherever they find themselves.
Okay. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So I have 2 service-related products. I want to add, if you run a business that you sell something, probably you sell hair, you sell outfits, you sell like an actual product, so that we can cover all those aspects. Is there anybody that also runs that type of business?
Chimaka has a hair business.
Say that again.
Chiamaka Editi, she has an hair brand. Etero has a cleaning business. I think those are just individuals I know that have business present. But you can use Chiamaka Editi's hair brand as a product business. She sells wigs.
Shamaka, why are you not speaking? Are you in a place where you can't talk? Oh. Shamaka. Oh, okay. Okay.
If you have a product business, feel free to turn on your audio and share. Uzoma, do you want to say something? Okay.
Yes, I want to say something. Okay,
Please.
good morning from here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good morning from here. Okay, I have a mini business actually. That's why I never wanted to talk because actually a business I'm still doing. I sell liquid soap, Isa, and the rest of them. I sell in both smaller and larger quantity depending on demand from people.
Okay. So you sell liquid soap, Isa. What's the name of your business?
This is
Say that
the
again.
name of my business is Fresh Drop. It's just Fresh Drop. Not really. It's not really. I don't really have, let's say, a business name. It's just the name of my product.
Yes, what's the name
I
of your
just I Fresh Drop.
Okay,
Fresh Drop multipurpose liquid soap.
Fresh Drop multi-purpose liquid.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we have Fresh Drop multi-purpose liquid soap. We have 5 minutes with Abigail, and then we have access and inclusion for women with disability initiative. So everybody is going to participate in this, whether you're building a business or personal brand. So under the zoom out, right? Like I said, this is the big picture perspective. This is your brand's reason for existing and its role in the world. So we want to look beyond the liquid soap that you sell. We want to look beyond the what we want to do for women and how we want to transition them to tech. And then we want to look beyond the wheelchairs that we're supplying. We want to know what the real purpose is. So under the zoom out, you have your brand purpose. Why do you exist beyond making money? Why do you exist beyond making money? For the NGO, that might be quite easy to explain because NGOs are usually not for profit. But for the other initiatives, why do you exist beyond making money? If you were not making money and you were not receiving thank yous, even this goes for the NGOs, if the people that you're giving out this aid to, these wheelchairs to, if they say they don't want wheelchair again, how are you going to take it? I want you to take a minute and write that down. Why does your business exist beyond making money? I would, while you're writing that down, I would break it down a little bit. So someone might sit. Okay, so I have a friend. We had a conversation recently, and there was this video that she watched that really traumatized her about children being kidnapped and then used for ritual, not even in Africa, funny how, used for ritual and then raped multiple times. And this thing really got to her, and she called me and she was furious, and I told her, I said, why is this thing getting to you? I know it's a very bad thing, but why is this thing getting to you? And after we had talked, we found out that it's either because she has the solution to this problem. So what could the solution be? The solution might be that she has this drive to empower people. She's a justice fighter. That's the right word. So whenever she sees people being treated unjustly, there is something in her system that loses balance. When she sees people being cheated, and it was not just from this one video, it's something that we now have to reflect on, and we saw that this is what makes you tick. You can literally go and defend somebody even when they are not paying you a dime. So your purpose for life could be to liberate people, to help people live a life where there's no fear, live in a world where there's no fear, where there's no limitation, where there's no oppression. That would be her brand purpose, right? Now, if we were to take it down, I'm still going to get to the zoom out, the zoom in rather. So how do we take this purpose and make it a business? Whether or not you're running an NGO, it's a business. So how do we take this purpose and make it into a business? Using that as a case study, as a result of this drive and purpose, one business that could come out of it could be a business that trains inmates. I'm sure you're thinking of how these two relate. A business that's a training initiative that is catering to inmates, people that are in prison. Why are we dealing with people that are in prison? Because these are the people that have committed the most crimes, at least the most documented crimes. And then when we deal with these people that are in prison, using this as an initiative, as a driving force, why are we catering to them? Because we want to know the source of their wickedness. Why are you so wicked? Why did you rape a child? If you've ever met children, you know that it takes a beast and a monster to even hurt a child. A child, an innocent child, you have to be a monster. You have to have demons walking, in fact, taking over you. You are demonic to be able to hurt a child. the sweetest beings that we have. So we want to know, how did you inherit this demon that is at work in you? And then we are interested to know, did you have any childhood trauma? How come you're so wicked? Or why did you kill another human being? Why did you steal from somebody's sweat? Why are you inconsiderate? And then we might begin to find out things like, oh, I was abandoned when I was a child. I grew up on the streets. My parents had favorites. This and this and that. And then after knowing the source of their behavior, because people don't just act the way they act off of their own, they don't just start behaving in a certain way. It's usually something that there's usually a backstory, right? So we are interested in, what's your backstory? How did you get to this level? And then based off of what they say to us, still using that as an example of how that freedom fighter thing, how it connects, then we now break down a therapy and recovery and a mindset re-engineering framework. And breaking this down, that means we're working with, now I'm using this my friend as a cue. This my friend will have to work with highly qualified mindset re-engineering professionals, therapists. So you see, just this simple vision, look at what she needs to execute. So we're now working with a model that we can say that our selling point is, we can transform a hardcore criminal to the holiest saint, the most well-behaved, morally right individual. We can say the turnaround time is 3 months. 3 months of meeting twice in a week, right? So that would be a total of 6 meetings. And we are saying these 6 meetings would have a duration of 3 hours each. So what has this become? This has become a selling point. So let me tell you how I would now make profit, or my friend can make profit from this business. So we are now presenting a model to the government. This can be a model we're presenting to the government. This can be a model we're presenting to schools. This has now become a business to schools, a business we're presenting to parents, a business we're presenting to offices. We're telling the parents, bring your most troublesome kid. Give us 6 meetings. Give us 3 months. And this child will turn a new leaf. Why? We had this big purpose. We had this drive. And as a result of our pain point, we've developed a model that you can now pay us for. And we can also serve you with, right? We're going to the government. We're saying, we want to deal with, there are some criminal offenses that even firing squad does not justify. So we're telling them that even with the toughest of your criminals, we need just 3 months of 3 hours meeting in a day, 2 days in a week. 2 days in a week. Or 2 days in a month, rather. We're telling them that if you give us these people for 3 months, we're going to be able to do what a life imprisonment term might not be able to do. So you might be surprised that, the problem, the initial problem was, these children are being molested. But this is just one business idea that deals with the root cause. Another business idea might be to have a school or an initiative that caters to people that have gone through trauma, gone through rape, which is a very sensitive topic, by the way. They've gone through a terrible loss. They've been probably kidnapped. They've just had terrible experiences, or they've been scammed of their life savings, or just something terrible. Where we also have a model that we can help them recover quickly from this trauma that they have faced. You know what I walked you through? I actually walked you through the Zoom framework. I hope you picked, but then I'll still go back to the Zoom out. But I quickly walked you through the Zoom framework. So under the Zoom out, you have the brand purpose, like the example that I gave of what's the pain point? What is that thing that even when you're not told thank you, even when you're not paid, you would still want to do? That's your purpose. Now we talk about vision and mission. This is a one term that have been wrongly flogged. Vision and mission. So I'm going to both for, especially for businesses. You see, people have a vision and a mission for their business, and then they don't have for their life. If you ask them, what's the vision of your business? They'll say, hold on, let me get to my company profile. They'll read it out to you. But when it comes to their life's vision, they don't even know. When it comes to their mission, why are you alive today? You're praying that you don't want to die. Why? Why? Why don't you want to die? What are you doing on earth? I thought the world was a difficult place. Why don't you want to go to heaven? So if you're going to be here and if God must keep you alive, why? What's the big picture? So I'll break down vision and mission to you in just a simple sentence. So think of vision and mission as, what future are you trying to create? And what role do you play in it? What future are you trying to create? And what role do you play in it? If I were to use this, my friend's initiative as a case study, even taking off from the brand purpose, it's easy for me to determine the vision and mission. So a vision and mission statement, if I were just to think from the top of my head, I would say her vision would be to create a world where everybody feels safe and secure. Yes, that would be her vision. Her mission statements would be something like to educate, or to, let's look for a word that would suit this inmate thing. So a mission would be, her mission statement could be to transform one inmate. I'm just saying, if it were to be focused on the prison thing, to transform one inmate one step at a time. Because we know that when these inmates are changed, probably it's a minor, it's a crime that it's not, they don't need to serve their whole life. You know, they don't need to pay with their whole life. Probably they are going to be released after 5 years, right? So when this person is transformed, there's a ripple effect. Do you see that? There's a ripple effect. So what future are you trying to create? And what role? What is your mission? Your mission is that role. Your mission is, what am I going to be doing every day to get to this vision? So this, my friend, might be to keep educating inmates one step at a time. So she would believe that if I increase my capacity and I'm able to cover all of the prisons in Africa, all of the prisons in America, and you see, we'll keep it will keep getting technical as we go, as we keep on, because for you to even have a vision, if you say that you want to cater to all the inmates, question, do you even know how many inmates there are? How many prisons? That means as you go down, as we move to the Zoom mid, we'll talk more about this. So we've spoken about brand purpose, we've spoken about vision and mission. So just because I promised to use some of the businesses our attendees run, so I'm going to give you an idea of a brand purpose, vision, and mission. I'm not saying that is what it should be, because your vision has to be clear to you. So if we look at 5 minutes with Abigail, for example, why 5 minutes with Abigail? What is the pain point? What is this thing that you see in women that breaks your heart? And even if, whether they like it or not, even if they say, I don't need you, Abigail, I don't want you, Abigail, you say you must change. What is that thing that it's like a fire that is burning inside of you? You're saying, this is why I was made. I need to change this. What is that pain point? I want you to write it down. It might be more than one. What is that pain point? That's your brand purpose. Your brand purpose might be that you see that a lot of women have a lot of potential. They have potential. We are using women, but I know they are men. So don't worry, let's include. Apologies to the men on this call, right? But I know that even as men, you have important female figures in your life. So bear with us. So you're looking at a person. I'm not going to say male or female now. You're looking at people need to get to their potential. They need to move even beyond their potential, because your potential is still static, right? Your potential is static. People need to live their best lives. You believe that there is so much more trapped in this person and they are not able to live their best life. That can be your brand purpose. 5 minutes with Abigail. You want to untrap people. What about the liquid soap Izal? For me, just looking at fresh drops, living in certain parts of the world, you might see how that people are using dangerous items to wash dishes. For example, a lot of people use clean detergents that are not edible. They use clean to wash dishes. The other day, I saw a video of one of these fruit sellers in Lagos. The person was using clean detergents. So for those of you that might not know clean, probably you don't live in Nigeria, it's the powdery detergent that is used for laundry and those kind of things. The person was using it, this fruit seller was using it to wash oranges. You know, the skin of the orange has some, when mixed with that harmful substance, can create toxins. And the orange is also a porous, the skin of the orange is porous. That means it can, suck in whatever is on the surface. So now you see this happening. You go to restaurants and you see they are using detergents to wash dishes that humans would consume. You see that people have health issues just because of things like this. You go to some public restrooms here in Lagos and you can't even use it. So for Fresh Drop multipurpose soap, those might be the things that inspired you. Like I said at the beginning of this call, I hope you're not just, anybody on this call is not just here because they want to make profit. I hope they really want to build a sustainable business, right? That touches the world one way or the
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yes, absolutely, ma'am. Ma'am, I know you are very passionate about branding and you just want us to get it, like, let it sink, let it sink. Thank you, and we are very grateful for this. But we have less than 40 minutes to wrap up this call, and I believe individuals here, we are business people, we have personal brands we want to build, we have professional brands, and we all have questions. So I would plead with you that you just help us to work with time. Just give us the meets, just anybody that wants to have a personal consultation. Uzoma, your fresh drop clean soap, your business if you want to have a personal consultation with her, please visit bnmbrandhouse.com. She's very good and she will work with you, talk with you based on your own business or based on the need you have. This call, we're just trying to get as much as we can in few minutes. So, ma'am, if you would not mind, I would plead you just help us summarize the zoom out, zoom needs, and zoom in. So we just have an idea, and each of us, let's get to Ma'am Adebipe Mohammed. You share details, and you can have a personal consultation on how to upscale your brand better. I'll plead with you, ma'am, in less than a minute or so. Just help us because we have lots of questions, and I believe everyone here must have one question or another, and we have less than 40 minutes now. So, ma'am, please just help us wrap it up so we have something written down and we move on, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Under the, but I hope you got the brand purpose and vision clearly.
Yes, ma'am.
Under the zoom frame of zoom out, so you have brand purpose, you have vision and mission, and then you look at your target audience. Who are the people that you're called to cater to? Who are the people that need your business on a larger scale? If I were to use 5 minutes with Abigail, you might think that your business is women. No, it might not just be women because these women are mothers, they are wives, they are colleagues in the office. So impacting one woman might be impacting 10 men, right? So your target audience, you look at it on a macro level. Then for the zoom in, okay, in general, the zoom out is the macro view, right? Then the zoom mid, MID, the zoom mid is the strategic view. So at the zoom mid, this level connects your purpose to actionable strategy. So at the zoom mid level, you begin to think brand positioning. What space do you occupy, or what space do you want to occupy in people's minds? That's where this whole selling an experience thing comes in, right? Your brand positioning. What space do you want to occupy in people's minds? What are your brand values, either as an individual or as a business? These are the principles that guide your business. So what, under your brand values, what principles guide you as a person or your business? Then we talk about your brand personality. If your brand were a person, what would they be like? So I see from the comments section, someone says that she sells phone accessories. Yes, you're selling phone accessories, but what's a personality? If your brand were to be a person, if your phone brand were to be a person, what is the personality? Would people look at your business as, oh, when we need the cheapest deals, the best deals, we go to this phone vendor? That's a personality. Or when we need to get things fast, we go to this person. Or when we need to get things that are really legit, we go to this phone brand, right? Then you also, here, you also have your customer segments, right? A strategic customer segment. Who are the key groups that you serve? Remember that at the zoom out, we had a larger scale. So who are the key groups that you serve? Your business should not serve everybody. Even if you sell water, you can sell, Fiji water. There are different types of water, right? Zooming, which is the micro view. Now, having gone through the bigger picture, having gone through strategy, now zooming is the execution phase. This is where your strategy becomes reality. This is the visible and tangible expression of your brand. So under this, you have things like visual identity. If you are a business, your visual identity would be your colors, your logo, your fonts, what text do you write in? Some of you business owners, you need to stop using Canva the way you use Canva. You need to start using Canva like a professional. If you're going to be using two texts, let your two texts be two texts. Today you use Futura. Tomorrow you use Bibas. Next tomorrow you use Times New Roman. You're confusing your audience. When you see Apple or you see Samsung, today they write Samsung one way, tomorrow they still write it the same way. You will not see that it's now a small letter. You don't see that they now write Samsung as small letter today. Next tomorrow they write it as capital letter. Your font has to be consistent so that when people, because it's called visual identity, in a fast-paced world, when people come across your content, they should be able to stop and know that this content is from Access and Inclusion for Women. This content is from 5 Minutes with Abigail. So your visual identity is very important. So if you were to build a personal brand, the way your hairstyle, the way you look, the way you talk, it has to be consistent. You need to sit and say, how do I want to look? Do I want to look like a mature person? Do I want to look like somebody the Gen Zs can relate with? If I want to look like somebody the Gen Zs can relate with, what kind of outfits do I need to start wearing? Do I want to look like a luxurious person? Then I'm going to start deciding that, oh, I'm going to wear more of neutral. I'm going to do less. These things are important. What are the words? How do I want to sound? Do I want to sound encouraging? Do I want people to see me as a big sister? Do I want people to see me as a boss? Just from the tone of my voice. You see, the way I sound. Do I want to sound playful? Do I want people to see me as a fun person? Is it just the tone of my voice and how I speak can determine how people see me? Then messaging, yeah. So that I touched on, messaging and tone of voice. Yes. So how do you speak? That's different from visual identity. As a personal brand, is how you look, how you talk, how you move, and all of those. Then messaging and tone of voice. How do you speak? What messages are repeated? What are the messages that are repeated in your brand, in your business? This is where you talk about your taglines, right? Just like Nike. Nike is just do it, just do it. So everybody already knows just do it, Nike. So what's your own messaging? What are the words and messages you need to repeat? Because that's how your brand stick. Then content and campaigns, you have all of this under zooming. So what stories do you tell? What stories do you tell? These are your content and campaigns. Are you selling a story of hope? Are you selling a story of activism? Are you selling a story of patriotism? What story are you selling? Customer experience touch points. Now, this is the final thing I'll deal with under the zoom in. So your customer experience touch points. This is now having all of these things written on paper. This is now the main thing, right? Just like we had this event, we had it advertised. This is the main thing, customer experience. We are using Zoom as a platform. You can hear me. You can hear the convener of this event. You are having an experience of what was promised, right? So customer experience touch points. So these are now this is your website if you run an online business. If you sell an actual product, this has to do with your packaging, just like this example. So depending on who you want to, if you want to sell to, if you're interested in volume, you want to sell to every random person, which is not a bad idea at all. If you want to deal with volume, then you would most likely want to go for a packaging like this if you sell pens. But if you want to deal with premium people, it's highly unlikely that I would spend my money to buy a pen like this. I would rather, if I see a pen like this and a pen like this, I'd rather buy this. I'd rather use this. So if you want to sell a pen to me and this is your packaging, sorry, you've lost me. I'm not going to patronize you, right? So in as much as you sell your products, you have good products, the packaging is very important, both as a person and as a business. So emails, these are also your customer experience touch points. How are your emails composed? What is on your social media? including your WhatsApp. Yes, what's on your WhatsApp? Especially those of you that you have clients on your WhatsApp. Today you're posting, I'm so depressed. What's their business with your depression? So sorry how that came up. I am so sorry, but sometimes in branding, you have to be blunt because all they're interested in is sales. So if you have clients on your WhatsApp profile, and let's say you run a food business, you're selling food. I would not want somebody that is experiencing depression to cook for me because I don't know what she's going to cook now. Am I saying the person should not experience depression? Yes, but I don't need to know because at this point, I'm not a therapist, I'm a customer. So I would rather, if I see that this person is experiencing depression, I would not ask her to cook for me. I will now reach out to her. Oh, what's wrong? Are you okay? But you will not have my money. So you need to be conscious of what you're posting. And even times that you feel like talking about things, hold it for the sake of your brand. So in branding, I would usually say act on brand, not on emotion. So in a nutshell, that's the Zoom framework. The zoom out, the zoom in, and the zoom in.
Wow, that's really amazing. And I hope we are taking notes. My page is filled up with so many wisdom. Please just clap. I can say Toro clapping. Let's do more of the clapping. The Zoom framework, the zoom out, the zoom mid, and the zoom in. I wouldn't tell you what I've written up because I want to believe you were also writing. But please, how we project ourselves influences how people perceive us. I've learned a lot, and watch out for Mrs. Abigail after this webinar. Thank you so much, Mrs. Adenike Mohammed. Thank you, Promise, and thank you, Uzoma, for also engaging in this. I'll ask two more questions, after which, if you have questions, please feel free to drop it on the chat box, because if I say ask verbally, we might end up staying beyond our time and get to end this call 12 p.m. exactly. So, ma'am, the second to last question I'm asking you is this. The tag of this webinar is from invincible to in demand. So two questions are here. How can we move past the noise? Because I can be selling hair, and that individual is also selling hair as well. How can we be visible even though our area is saturated? That's one. How do we gain visibility online and on ground as well? And then the second question is, how do we not just be visible, but we are also open to opportunities through our, how do we position ourselves for opportunities? How do we, like, how to position ourselves for big brands to identify us, and we won't just be among other people making noise on social media. We won't just be loud and people know us, but we're also reaping the benefits of that visibility. So those are the two questions I'm asking under that one. How can we move from invisible to in demand? Yeah, in terms of visibility, in terms of gaining opportunities and values for what we do.
Okay. I would give you another framework just because of the time that we have. So it's called the ASK framework. ASK. So the A stands for attract. The S stands for show. And the K stands for keep. Right? So under attract, I would say clarity. How do you attract? Clarity plus visibility will give you attention. When you're clear and you're visible, then you gain people's attention, right? Then under the S, the show. Here, you prove expertise through your content, results, and storytelling. So you prove expertise, you prove your expertise through your content, through your results, and through storytelling. Under K, you have keep. So here, you focus on building relationships and delivering excellence. I hope you got those two things. So you're building relationships and you're delivering excellence so that your demand sustains. These are not just frameworks. These are things that I've used and has worked for me and would keep working for me. So just a little backstory. I have run my business for 10 years now. And so I had worked for 13 years. I had a 9 to 5 for 13 years, right? I had a 9 to 5 for 13 years and I've run my business for 10 years. If you want to add the numbers, that would be 23 years. And if you subtract that from when I left university, I'm not sure I should have left university earlier than 20 in Nigeria, because I did my first degree was in Nigeria. So let's even assume that I was 20. Does it mean that I'm 43 now? I'm obviously not 43. So what does that suggest? It means that of my 13 years of working, I was also running a business. Though I do not do a 9 to 5 anymore, but I was sustaining a 9 to 5 and my business. And for these 10 years that I've been running my business, I have not run one ad. I don't run ads. My business has been sustained on referrals, and I'm talking big deals here. I'm talking big deals. I work with premium. My customers are mostly premium because those are the people that I cater to. I'm talking very big deals with no advert. I've not been a social media person, even though I provide social media solutions. But again, because I had my 9 to 5, and as a person, I would rather be with my computer without my camera on. That means I would rather not be talking to you this Saturday morning. I would rather be studying or doing some other thing with my time, because to an extent, I could be private. I'm quite a private person. So social media was not my go-to. Few months ago, let's say like August, so I started to post again on my Instagram. I did not used to post on my Instagram. I would usually only post on my birthdays. And I didn't run any advert. And a few days ago, I was telling my friend that, oh, I now have 1,500 followers. And I was so excited. And I didn't run any ads, just within a short period. What model am I using? How am I able to keep relationships and remain in demand? So from invincible to in demand. What is my secret? My secret is excellence and consistency. I put out excellence first because you can be consistently doing the wrong things. You can be consistently doing the wrong things and you will not get the right traction. And you can also be excellent and you're not consistent. People will not use you because you're excellent, but you're not consistent. Your product is good, but there's no consistency. Today, your product is this shape. Tomorrow, they don't trust your output. So for me, it's been excellence and consistency. In addition to, and this influences the relationships that I have. Most of my clients, how do I get business deals? Is referrals. The people that and I don't pay for referrals. So one of the relationships, the business relationships that maybe some of you might be aware of is the business relationship I have with Winnie. So Winnie is not my friend. Winnie is a sister. And we met, we've not known for ourselves for, a very long time. But because of these principles that I've built around me, the way the way she refers me and she pushes my brand, someone had to call me and say, it's either you're paying Winnie or you are extremely good. I say, you already know the answer because I'm not paying. So I have clients like that they put my brand on their head. I don't pay them. So when you're excellent and you're consistent, it impacts in your relationship. So attract. I'll just run through this in a few minutes. So I spoke about the ask framework. So you have clarity and visibility. So visibility is currency. Visibility is currency. And I'm bringing this in because I've already spoken to you about the Zoom framework. So I'm expecting that you first write out, you feel the Zoom framework, you write out your vision, your brand purpose, and all of those. With that step, you're going to be fully grounded about what your business stands for, and you'll be fully grounded in who you are. So this next step would work only if you've discovered your true purpose, the true problem that your business solves, right? So visibility is currency. Visibility is not vanity. Visibility is opportunity. Why are we in this meeting today? Favor, if you didn't come across my video or you didn't come across any of my content, do you know me? Have you seen me before? You saw my content and now look at the opportunity, look at the experience that we're having, right? So a lot of you have good products, but your products are not visible. So visibility is not vanity. It is opportunity. Yes, I stated to you that for the past 10 years, my business has been running and I've not run one single ad. Does it mean I will not run ads? I put out a book less than a month ago. No, let's say about a month ago. I have not run a single ad on that book and I've made millions. I've sold millions. I've made millions in sales from that book without running an ad. So my brain is thinking now that, oh, Adebimpe, you need to run ads so that more millions would come in, right? So the more visible you are, the more credible and trustworthy you appear. The more visible you are, the more credible and trustworthy you would appear. So what are the steps? I'll give you 4 steps to visibility. Number 1, clarity. Who are you? Who do you want to be known for? What do you want to be known for? So you need to have clarity. If you don't have this clarity and your business is a social media business, by the time they drag you, one dragging will make you rethink all of your life's vision. So you have to be clear. Ask yourself the tough questions. Who am I? Who am I not? If somebody comes to me and says, you are mad, I would never react. I wonder why people react, because I'm not mad. Why would I'll be surprised that, why are you saying I'm mad? I'm not mad, because I know myself. So if someone comes and calls me fat, it's obvious that I'm not fat. I'm not supposed to be angry. If someone calls me skinny, yes, I'm thin, but I'm not skinny, I can still say, yes, but I like it. Right? So I'm not going to be fazed. But if I didn't know myself, if I was not, fully grounded, so clarity. Then 2, after getting clarity, the next step is consistency. Show up regularly in your voice with your story. Don't copy. Be original. Be authentic. Be authentic. Yes, you can gain inspiration, but always add your twists. Even if you use ChatGPT to develop your content, change some words to let it reflect you. Don't just, people can even tell ChatGPT these days. So let there be some personal touch. So consistency, show up regularly, show up in your voice, show up with your story. Then channels. The third step is channels. After you've gained your clarity, you're now consistent, then pick one or two platforms where you have your audience is and dominate them. If you want to sell and you're selling products that, if you want to use the Nigerian naira, products that are below 10K, 20K, premium products, Instagram and TikTok is your marketplace. If you're selling more premium products, then you want to include LinkedIn. But if you're selling 2K products, 5K products, voluminous products, include Facebook Marketplace. You have, there are data to back this up, but I'm just giving you this information for free. Then the fourth step to increase your visibility would be collaboration. So visibility grows faster when you leverage others' audiences. One of my most recent collaborations would be my collaborations with the Winnie School of Excellence. It has opened, more opportunities for me that if I were to start doing by myself, how am I going to reach, those number of people? So collaboration is very important. So that's on visibility, right? So those are 4 practical steps you can start taking today to increase your visibility, right? Then let's talk about how to develop your personal brand, right? How to develop your personal brand just in very short points. So you cannot attract more than the version of yourself you've built. Because for businesses like like 5 Minutes with Abigail, there are businesses that your personal brand would push because you're the face of your business. For a business like the Izal and liquid soap business, people don't really need to see your face because it's a product. Even the NGO is in between, because you might decide to just push your NGO and people don't need to know anything about your life. But if you're building 5 Minutes with Abigail, then you are the face of your brand. So when people look at you, you have to be a direct reflection of your brand, right? So personal brand is very important because you cannot attract more than the version of yourself you've built. So why am I on this call with you? Because I perceived you as someone that I would, want to have some affiliation with. It's not every of these calls that I would take. I would have to go do my own study to see if this person is not going to stain my brand. Do you get what I mean? So what are the key habits to build a strong personal brand? I would just say 3 for now. First is confidence. How do you build confidence in a very short period? I'll give you a framework for building your confidence. Now, confidence is directly proportional to getting things done. Confidence is directly proportional to getting things done. You don't build confidence by speaking affirmations. You don't build confidence by speaking affirmation. Be saying, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid. Do you know why you shouldn't be afraid? Let's say you're afraid. I used to be afraid of dogs. And no matter the I'm not afraid of dog affirmation, when I see a dog, I will still hide. So what did I do? I started by touching a harmless dog. My friend has a harmless dog. Then I remember the day, this was even like 2 years ago, that I held a dog for the first time. I cringed. And then as I kept at it, I became more confident because of my action. Right? So now when I see that particular dog, I'm not talking of other dogs. I'm not afraid of that dog. I even cuddle the dog to my amazement. So how did I build confidence in that aspect? And confidence is not a general thing. Confidence is specific because you could be a confident speaker, but are you a confident footballer if you don't know how to play soccer? So don't tag yourself and say, I'm not confident. No, you're not confident in segments the aspects that you're not confident. Are you not confident in having your bath? You're confident in having your bath. You're not afraid, right? So confidence this is the framework for confidence. Keeping your own promises also, it boosts your confidence. When you say, I'm going to do this, even when no one is watching, do it. You would see that you would feel good. Then another thing that would build your personal brand would be learning. Stay ahead of your industry, learn webinars, books, and to crown it all, discipline. Discipline. Consistency compounds visibility into demand. Consistency would compound your visibility into demand. So branding without personal growth is like decorating a weak foundation. It won't last, right? So finally, I'll talk about positioning for growth, your career and business. We already dealt with the personal brand. So to be in demand, you must position yourself as the solution. For those of you that joined early, remember how I was able to market this pen. And she didn't ask me if I have Tony Elumelu's number. And I just marketed this to her. And if I were to say that, oh, there's a slot and I'm serious, she could have even sent the money to me. With branding, you can do wonders. So to be in demand, you must position yourself as the solution. So if you are looking through a business lens, who needs your product and service the most? You must answer that question. Who needs your business and product the most? What results do they desire? These people that you're looking to, what results do they desire? Speak to that result. Speak to that result. If we were to use this as a case study too, because yes, I want to write. So if you were producing this, now I want to write, but I also want to write with a luxurious pen. I want to write with a pen that is as elegant as can be. So in as much as I want to write, I just don't want to write. I want to write with an elegant experience because my words are expensive. So you need to know what I want, because if you just focus on pen, yes, this is a pen I'm not going to buy from you, right? So what do your customers want? Then speak to that result. Then price confidently. Price confidently. Being in demand is tied to perceived value. If you meet, the nature of my business, my pricing changes, right? So if you want to if you meet let's say a Dangote, right? If you meet a Dangote and Dangote wants, probably you're a fashion person and he wants to make an outfit, and you charge Dangote 70,000, he's not going to patronize you. He will not. And maybe you got a discounted price with the fabrics and all of those, but because of his social status, he would want to spend. If I come to Dangote and I say, oh, this outfit will cost you 15 million, and I just tell him that I'm using gemstones, he would rather want to patronize me. So sometimes you have the good product, but your business is not making sales because your price is too low for the customers that you're serving. You will not really hear this in many places. You might not be making sales because your price is too low for the kind of customers you want to attract. Then rounding up under the career lens, if you're a career person, you want to showcase your results, just not your roles. You're not saying I'm a social media person or I'm a customer service person. You're showcasing how you use your skills to retain customers, how you are able to how you could have a vision. If you're a customer service person that takes calls and all of those, your work career vision might be to leave every customer better and happier than they came. That might be your goal. And that can drive the sales of your company and lead to many beautiful promotions for you. Then publish your expertise. If you run a 9 to 5, that is a 9 to 5. That means you still have liberty to run your social media, except if you work in a very classified organization. post articles, LinkedIn posts, speaking engagements if you have, so that your company will start seeing you as an asset. So they now start seeing that this person is visible. So they don't want to lose you. They don't want to lose you because people are now demanding for your expertise, right? And then finally, network intentionally. Opportunities move through people. So you don't need to be known by everyone. You need to be known by the right people for the right thing and in the right way, right? So I want to encourage you to take one branding action out of everything that we've said in the next 7 days. Take one branding action. It could be that you want to update your bio, you want to publish a post, you want to package your offer, or you want to introduce yourself with clarity. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I am so happy, and I believe we all have been blessed beyond measure. I really wish we had more time because it's obvious Madam Mrs. Adebimpe Mohammed has a lot to share. Like, she knows her onions and she has so much to share, but it's a pity. It's a pity. And Brandon is also keeping to your words, just like you said. We said 10 to 12 p.m., but I pray we don't go over 12 p.m. And I initially said when we're doing our adverts that come with questions. So now is the time to ask your questions. If you have any question, please drop it in the chat box. I will say it on your behalf. Thank you so much, ma'am. I actually got to know you through watching Winnie School of Elegance YouTube video on branding, and when she kept repeating it again and again, she helped me position myself better. She helped me build my brand. I was like, no, 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 I must get to know this lady. She must help me, and I'm still coming to you, ma'am. Aside this call, I'm still coming to you, and you will help me build my brand. It's a must, and I will pay for the consultation. And I'm also saying this as well. You can tell for a fact that this woman knows what she's doing. And if you want to be luxurious, if you want to be premium, you have to work with someone who is premium as well. You have to work with someone who has been in the business for over a decade. And so I'm not pleading, I'm telling you straightforward. Go to bnmbrandhouse.com and pay for a personal consultation. Let her tailor a advice to your business, to your profession, or to your personal brand or any area you desire. And also share the good news. If you can't afford it, your friend can afford it. And if your friend is doing well, when she talked about collaboration, networking, if your friend is doing well, it will also rub off on you as well. Also purchase a digital book on building authentic brand. And just for me to say this, the two persons um that got the book, they're still on the call. And I'm very happy because when I made the announcement, I was like, I hope these two persons will not leave along the line, but they are still here. And thank you to our strong 20 participants. You stayed to the end. I saw a lot of persons leaving and coming, but you guys stayed to the end. And I hope you didn't just hear and it will fly out through the other ear, but you will act on everything you've learned today. Hopefully, this video will be uploaded on 5 Minutes Abiel YouTube channel, so you can always go back and revisit and learn. You don't have your permission, ma'am, to upload this video just before I say anything further. Do I have your permission? Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. You can go there and view more. So does anyone have a question? Any question to ask? I was expecting questions. No one has a question. No one has a question. Wow. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. But okay, the medicine is too huge. That's why you can't ask questions. Like you've like you loaded us like we don't even like we've been doing a lot of things wrong and we can tell for a fact. But I want to ask you this last question. If you were to tell us just one thing, I have lots of questions though. I have like 20 questions to ask you, but I just need you to. Okay, I think there's a question here. Okay. Sorry, ma'am. Let me just share this question with you. Oguneme Joy is asking, how do I sustain my visibility as an online teacher?
Okay, good question.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
I might need to run in a few minutes because I have another engagement shortly. But okay, just to respond to that. So I gave 4 steps to increasing your visibility. So number one is clarity. Who are you? If you're an online teacher, what subjects do you teach? For example, if you're a French teacher or you are a mathematics teacher, you want to gain clarity that okay, this is my scope. You want to define your scope. This is what I do, and then after you've gained that clarity, the next step would be consistently showing up, right? So you develop content that cater to mathematics. You also outline your competitive advantage, right? If I wish I could know the topic, the subjects that you teach, so that I can.
She's saying she needs cardigan for schools and she teaches English. How can she sustain her visibility? Most
People.
times when they want it cheap.
Okay. 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 So she says she teaches English. So if you teach English, are you teaching English to non-English speakers? Probably people that want to learn English as their second language. So you need to gain clarity on what exactly you're doing. And once you gain clarity, you know that these are the people that I'm catering to, then you show up regularly. Don't just, yeah, you want to drive sales and then you want to gain followers, but I don't advise that in this age and time you do things for the sake of followers. So giving value, right? Value would always attract and people would always pay for value. You might think people like free things, right? Once you keep on being consistent, sharing tips, you share short tips and then you're also open for consultation. Just keep showing up, keep improving, keep showing up, and then know the channels, the people that you want to teach this English, where are they? Are they mostly Facebook users, Instagram users? Are they on LinkedIn? If you're dealing with, probably you're an English teacher that you want to teach groups of people, like probably a French school, you want to collaborate with a French institution to be their official English teacher. So you want to go to places like LinkedIn. You need to also prepare an offer design where you have your face. I have one. If you go on my website or my Instagram, you would see that where you have your rates and then you just have, it's like a flyer, a one pager. You have the value that you're offering. So you need to pick a channel. So either you want to focus on TikTok, focus on any of those channels. And another thing that you would do, if there are other people, other online teachers that are in your space, you can collaborate with them, invite them over for an Instagram live or something, have some form of collaborative posts with them so that you can also leverage on their customers or their clients. So yes. Then Fumilayo Joy says, I'm into cardigan knitting for schools. Please, how do I sustain my visibility when most times they want cheap services? I wonder the schools that you are catering to. There are schools like Grange. There are schools like, what are these big schools? In Lagos, they have many schools. There's Love What schools. There are schools that, I mean, their tuition are in millions. So if you're catering to schools where their tuition are in millions, they would not even want cheap things. They'll be, if you give them a very cheap offer, they will not patronize you. So those people need you. You're just probably selling to the wrong schools. Fumilayo. I hope I answered your question. So if you have quality product and you're not making sales, that means you have the wrong clients. So ditch your poor pricing clients and go look for your premium clients. They are waiting
Okay.
for you.
Oh, thank you so much, ma'am. Sorry, two more questions just fell in. What are the common mistakes that keep someone from becoming in demand, and how can it be avoided?
What are what?
What are the common mistakes that keep someone from becoming in demand, and how can it be avoided?
Some common mistakes are the quality of your work is poor. The quality of your work is poor, or the quality of your product is poor. That can keep you, it can keep you stable. Second, you have a good product, but your packaging is bad. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but we always, humans are fashioned to judge books by their covers. So you could have a good product, but your packaging is wrong. So for that, you need to consult with a good branding person so that they can help you package your products properly. Another would be that you don't keep up to time. You don't keep up to your brand promises. If you tell people that they are going to get this product in 10 days, they end up waiting for 15 days. So for that, if you're having that situation, then you need to work on your processes. You need to work on your processes from when an order is brought in to when this order would get to the end user. What's the cycle based on the existing structure? So if the person is in Abuja, for example, and you're in Lagos, you want to factor in, oh, do I already have these goods on ground? When this person orders for this good, if I need to make it, is it going to take me 3 days to make it? Let's say to take me 3 days. How long will my logistics company get it to Abuja? Maybe to take another 3 days. That's 6 days. So you want to tell your clients that your delivery is in 8 days or even 10 days. So that within that, it's better that they get it ahead of time than they keep waiting for it. So such things might make you lose customers, and most importantly, visibility. Right, when you're always putting yourself out there, there are many contents, many people out there. So if you're not visible, how can you be in demand? People don't even know you. People would not see you. Right, so you have to keep pushing your content, keep putting yourself out there.
Okay, ma'am. So thank you so much. The last question I have here from Uzoma is the liquid soap producer. Most times, even with a good packaging, people still don't regard it. They'll be like, I don't need the packaging, I only need the content. Give me the give me the content in a smaller packaging. What is your advice on this? Should I ignore the many that speak negatively on one's packaging and embrace the few that appreciate it? Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, that's the question.
Okay. So let me give you a practical strategy. One of the things you can do for this business, for this your brand, you can now have different products. So let's, based on the demand and based on the buying power of your clients, your existing clients, you can have products that cater to the low class. That's very affordable products. Let's say liquid soap. How much do they sell liquid soap? Maybe 1,000 naira. So you could have products for as low as 1,000 naira. Then you could also have products that are maybe somewhere in between 5K. Then you could now have products that are like 20K and above. And the packaging would also, of course, the packaging would be incorporated in your costs. But whatever you're doing, make sure you don't go below, well, you know not to go below your production costs. So you look at the minimum level that your business can be profitable. And then if you want to serve everybody, I don't know who you're serving at the moment, but if you want to be able to serve more people and there's this pricing discrepancy, if you were to sell to me, I would be interested in the packaging. And I know I'm not the only one on this table. There are many people, even on this call, that would rather buy a properly packaged products. Yes. So for those people that don't care about the packaging, you can have another product for them.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. We love you. We love you. Like, you are amazing. Before you leave us, do you have any last comment you would love to share? Like, it just touched you to encourage us, each and every one of us, in our various areas of life, be it personal, business, or professional, from your expertise.
Okay. One thing I would want to leave you with is believe in your brand. Nobody would push your brand better than you. Believe in your brand, believe in yourself. Close your ears to naysayers, because there would be, especially when your brand is at the early stages. Take a bet on yourself, and that brand, that dream, that vision, I want to tell you that it's a vision that God has given to you. Make sure nothing stops you from achieving it. If you're the one that sells a liquid soap or you sell Izal, I want you to see it as a life's mission to make sure that people get the right health product. Because if you don't sell that Izal, what of this, a child that just goes to a restroom and gets infected with a disease, and that disease might have been prevented from by using your Izal. But what if you didn't even market your Izal? What if you didn't push? What if you gave up on your Izal dream? Now, the death of that child might be attributed to you. I hope that didn't scare you. But yes, people need you. People need you. Once you get your conviction right, you're sure that this is what you want to do. Don't listen, my dears. Don't listen. Keep pushing your brand. Be your biggest fan, and I look forward to hearing great things.
Thank you. To reach her on Instagram, it's BNM. Website is bnmbrandhouse.com. Thank you so much. And please don't just be hearers. Let's all be doers. Like she has said, don't just see what you are doing as an ordinary something. It's your life mission. God has placed it in your heart. And how you package it, how you project it, how you present it matters. Act on every Zoom in, Zoom framework, everything you've heard today. Please, let's act on it so that someday you will also stand and say, I came to this webinar, Mr. David P. Mohammed said this, and I acted on it, and I'm a living proof that our frameworks are actually working. Thank you so much, Mr. David P. We love you, and we can't wait to get into that personal consultation with you on our various businesses, our personal brands and our professional brands. Now to the two winners of her book, Building Authentic Brands. The two winners are Beta Daniel and Eterobong Ekane Daniel. Two of you are bearing Daniels. I don't know what Daniel did. Thank you so much. Please reach out to me, and we'll send you the coupon code for you to be able to get access to the book. Thank you so much for joining the call. And until we see again, this is 5 Minutes with Abigail. Look forward to our upcoming webinar, the last quarter of the year. It should be December. And follow Ma'am Adebipe Mohammed on all social media platforms. She's good. She's very good. And you will continue. Like what she said, you need to continuously learn, and you need her to improve your brand. Thank you so much for being with us thus far, and do have a lovely day. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.